listed a few things that are concerns when you do the face-to-face interview. Main thing is, don't do too much talking. I used to do that. I'd have a potential employee come in, and I'd tell them everything they want to know about my business because I was so in love with my business. And by the time I got through with the interview, it dawned on me, I didn't even know who these people are. So, listen to what they have to say. Ask them questions that are open-ended so that they have to respond. Get their feelings on things. Let them do the talking. Again, hiring, interviewing questions, there's lots of them out there, and I won't get into specifics on them. You can find them, tailor-make it to what you're doing. If, for example, you're in gift, you want to hire people that you feel are along the lines of what it is that you do. Again, thinker, feeler. You could be interviewing someone for a sales position, and this person they're a salesperson, they're great at it, but they're a little too strong for you. They may be great, they may be able to turn some numbers, but you want to think long term. Also, keep in mind, and I've mentioned this, I believe, if you're interviewing for a sales position, remember you're interviewing salespeople, they are selling you on the idea that they're the best person to hire. You're being sold. So be careful with that. Okay. Now, before you make the job offer, you want to make two things clear. The first thing is what your employee policies are. Now, these are policies for all the employees, whether they're salespeople, back of the house, whatever. If you don't have a policy list, make one. You need it. You need it. It doesn't have to be long, but it needs to cover every eventuality. We are talking potential legal issues here. If you have that list, and if you have the list of what the job requirements are, you are required to do the following thing. You want your potential employee to agree, yes, I can do those things. Yes, I understand what the scope of this job is. Okay, you make the offer. When you make the offer, you got to explain to them, this isn't a guaranteed job. This is not a job offer. You are a trainee. And we're going to train you no matter what you're doing, and we're going to evaluate whether we are all a fit. Now, the training period may be, for some people, maybe it's a smaller job. 2 weeks from now, you know, okay, these people got it, it's fine. Others, when you start getting into selling or product knowledge, we're talking 30 days, maybe even 60 days. It's going to depend on what they need to know, what they need to do. Now, you got to pay them for this training time. It's the law. But they have to earn their position. Again, you're doing that for several reasons. They'll try harder, number one. They don't think they've automatically got a job. And number two, you're explaining them so that if they don't work out and you have to let them go, you've eliminated any of the possibilities that they could sue you, they can call the government, whatever. You have made it clear to them. Now, let's talk about the very first day. You've hired them, here they are. First thing you want to do is take care of all the paperwork. Those procedures manuals, those things that you've created that we've discussed, you want to give them a copy of it, and they have to sign for it. You want their signature. I'd like to think this isn't a sue-happy world, but it is. And if you have to go through dealing with a disgruntled employee who left because of some strange reason, if it is in your handbook, you are required to show up on time. If you are not, there will be this, that, and the other happening. If it's in there and they've signed for it, they're out of luck. Again, your business, your money. So handle all that paperwork, get the W-2 form done, everything on that first day, and give them a store tour. Take them, show them everything. I've had clients who, they got a salesperson, and they've trained them, and it's 2 days later, they don't even know what's in the back room. Nobody showed them. Show them everything. Take them over to the off-site warehouse. Let them see the whole operation. So now in their minds, they're set with it. Now, training them. Training can be kind of a daunting thing for a new employee, no matter what they're doing. So keep it to like 2-3 hours a day. If you've got a lot of information to lay on them, don't lay too much up on them. Let them absorb it. Any employee, no matter what they're doing, are going to have some tasks, some things that you want them to do. You want them to turn on the lights. You want to do these things. This is where you tell them what to do and why to do it and what the reasoning behind it is. You show them, physically show them, and then have them do it. This is the point where you are setting the standard. You are setting them up to understand this is how you do business, this is how you want business done, and there is no exceptions. So that going forward, they understand their role, they understand that if they don't do these things and do the things that you want them to do, the way you want them to do it, there could be complications. Now, sales training, really. Training salespeople. Training salespeople is a never-ending effort because you're always getting new inventory in, things change, you're in different times of the year. So for a lot of you with Christmas coming, oh boy, Christmas. You got to hire new staff. Some of them are part-timers. Some of them have never been in your store before. Some of them are rehires. So training is an ongoing process for sales staff. Especially with sales staff, you want to establish core principles of your store's relationship with customers. And you want to do this right out of the chute. If you're hiring one salesperson or you've got a group of 3 or 4 of them that you're working with, they've got to understand that everybody who walks in that door or calls is a potential buyer of your goods and services, period. Everybody. I don't care if they came in looking for directions. They're in your store, they're in your place of business, they need to be treated like a customer. You're in Pigeon Forge, you've got people coming through there all the time. They've got to be welcome. They have to be dealt with. And if you've got a salesperson who is, and I call them salespersons, I'm not calling them clerks, by the way. I don't want any of y'all to hire a clerk. They are salespeople, okay? They're putting away things, they're folding t-shirts. When somebody walks in that door, this is part of the policy. Everything stops when that person walks through the door. You've left for the day and you've said to your employee, no, I want all this inventory put here, and I want all these t-shirts folded, and I want all this stuff done before you leave. Then you get the phone call at 6 o'clock going, I didn't get to all the things. I had customers coming in the door and I rang up $60,000 worth of business. I'm sorry I didn't get to the... It's okay. It's all right. So that is one of those core concepts that they've got to understand. When the phone rings, when somebody walks through the door, everything stops for that customer. Now, we talked about telling, showing, and doing. Telling an employee how to do something and why, showing them and then letting them do it till they get it right. With salespeople, it's telling them, showing them, have them do it, have them practice it, have them role play it, and then do it again. You have so many different situations with the customers, you want to know that your salespeople have practiced it, understand it. So training with them is ongoing. You have somebody who walks in your door that's kind of a gruff personality. You want to practice that. If you've got 3 salespeople that are standing there, you're going to say, okay, you're first, I'm coming in. Go to the door, walk in, be mean, be not nice. How are they going to handle it? And then everybody talks about it. You have lots of situations. Everybody who comes in your door has to be dealt with. So with salespeople, it is a constant training situation. Some of them are going to sit there and yawn. They know how to do these things. You don't need to tell me this. They need to hear what you want, how you want it. One of the problems of hiring a really good salesperson who's been in other operations is they bring sometimes their bad habits with them. So any employee that you are hiring, they must understand what you want. Well, over at this, that, and the other store, this is how we did it, and it worked really well. Well, you're not in that place anymore. You're here, and this is how we do it. And this is why. You know, ordering employees and telling them, you got to do it this way. Tell them why. Tell them what it does. If they understand it and they see it's a benefit to them and to your business and to the customer, they're more likely to accept it. Okay, we're talking about retail. There's basically 5 steps that we've talked about. Making a customer feel welcome, creating some sort of relationship with them, some sort of personal connection so they feel comfortable with you and like you, being able to figure out what their needs are. What do they need? Why are they in your store? If they're tourists, we know why they're in your store. They're in your store to buy tourist stuff. But how can you help them? Did you get everything that you needed for everybody? Oh, Aunt Ethel. I forgot about Aunt Ethel. Helping them with some merchandise, getting them to a point to where they've landed on a couple of pieces of merchandise. You need to be able to explain the features and the benefits of those products. This is where sales training comes in. You're buying new stuff, it's in the store, it's priced. Your salespeople have to know what are all the features of that product and their corresponding benefits. And everything has a feature. Everything has features and benefits.